So yeah, I got a lot of feedback, good and bad, every day. And I'm just going to talk to you guys a bit about how to deal with that feedback, both the good and the bad, and some tips that I've learned with my time with Android. So when someone's really rude, someone's a jerk to you, it's really easy to just lash out at them, to be rude back to them. But it's really, it's not the best way to go. Like the worst case scenario is they go change the review, make it even worse, or tell their friends not to install your app, that kind of thing. Best case scenario is they just leave it alone. But if you have a tactful, polite response, if you let them know that you're listening and you care, you can actually turn that into someone who actually cares about your app, wants to advocate for your app, makes it a positive review or whatever, like something like that. How many people here directly deal with users right now? Okay, beautiful. How many people want to release their own apps at one point in the future? So anybody that might release their own app, unless you have a huge team, you're most likely to have to deal with those people and have to learn ways to respond to them. One of my favorite responses that I learned that just works for everything is I see how that feature will be really useful in this scenario. So it works for positive feedback. If someone says, you know, they want cloud support. I see how cloud support would be a great feature for my app to have. I'll definitely be adding it in a feature update. They're happy, they know that it's coming at some point, you didn't give a definitive date, and you know, they might turn a 4-star into a 5-star, saying, I wish there was cloud support, and I'm saying 5 stars. You know, they listen to me, I like the developer. Negative feedback. You know, someone says, you have terrible design. I see how my app's designed to be complicated for some users. I'm always working on improving my app, and I really appreciate your feedback. This is going to help make my app better in the future. This person's also happy. Oh, well, they actually listen, they care. Even if they don't like the design, they might continue using your app. They might tell their friends, like, you know, this guy's nice, or this developer's good, and I want to use their app. And unreasonable requests. I get a lot of completely unreasonable requests for things like, you know, add AOL support, or add, like, you know, like, sorry. It's so easy to be blunt and be like, there's no way I'm going to do that. There's no way, you know, I'm not going to spend tons of time working on a feature for 0.00% of my users. But instead of saying that, I could say, I see how AOL integration would be really useful in your situation. I'm going to look into ways I could add that in a future update. Again, not being specific on a date, saying I'm going to look into the possibilities, and just letting them know you're listening. You know, someone's there, you're not talking to like a robot. So people appreciate that. And even if, you know, they don't want to use, or they're not going to get their AOL support, sorry, at some point, they're going to like your app for that reason. You know, this is an example of a negative review. It's pointless, you know, just bad feedback. This app's worthless. Can't change the text color, background color. Clearly something you don't necessarily want to focus on, or you have lots of other like functional things you might want to add to your app, especially for a small team. But then the full example is, hi user, thanks for using my app, and for the feedback. That can be really frustrating for anybody. I see how that can be really frustrating. I'm always working on improving my app, and your feedback really helps my app better. And this person who might have completely unreasonable requests, it still ends up being kind of happy. You can convert that from such a bad review into a good review, and it does happen a lot more than you'd expect, but not all the time. And you know, just the main takeaways: resist the urge to be a jerk to a jerk. It's very easy. It's harder to be tactful, but often you can make that conversion. It's more profitable. Let them know you're listening. You know, let everyone know anytime anyone leaves feedback. Try to let them know, especially when your app's small, you're not getting a lot of reviews. Let them know you're listening. You want to make it better. Because of then, you're going to be able to make it better. And anybody that's passionate enough, that cares enough about your app to actually write something about it, that means they're also passionate enough to positively promote it. So if you go out of your way to make some negative or positive or neutral comment, just let them know, like, oh, thank you for that, and then they might end up, you know, saying something nice about you in the future to their friends on your site, or emailing you, or whatever it might be. And that's basically it. My takeaways from my experience. Right there.